Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Cashflow Digital, sponsored by Niche Website Builders. If you're interested in done-for-you affiliate websites or anything that you might need for an affiliate website, then Niche Website Builders can help you out.
Do they have domain finding services as well? Because I know I've purchased them through them, but I don't know if they actively do it. I think they just ran across it and said, "Hey, you want this?" Because they know I'm in the niche.
They have an inventory on their website there of.
Oh, really? I've never noticed that. I'll check it out.
So, yeah, they've got stuff on there that might be of interest if you're interested in getting into the niche website game. But you've got your friend, Maeve, rhymes with Dave here.
Maeve and Dave.
And Zeddy.
Looking to get a shave.
Yeah, Dave, do you shave, Maeve?
Shave Maeve, Dave. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the laser hair treatment?
No.
Let me bring up this ad. So I said, hey, I told the wife, I'm looking for Christmas present ideas. You know, apparently a vacuum wasn't a good choice last year, even though the floor was dirty. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that. But I was like, what do you want? So she sends me this thing that I was not expecting. It's an at-home laser hair treatment thing. So like she does this and she doesn't have to shave her legs anymore or whatever. Cool. It's like at home. It sounds sketch to me, but she had watched enough videos and shit. So I go, before I forget, I go and I order it. 100% order it. It's on the way. The next day, look what I get, this ad.
Jeez. Fuck me.
It would make me fucking nervous putting a laser near my testicles.
Yeah.
No, I sent that to her. I was like, I'm being retargeted. So,
jeez. You just come up with that, or you've been Googling some other dodgy shit, and that's come up.
It's probably a combination. Yeah. I was probably Googling something about testicles, and then I bought that. So they kind of merged them together and figured out the type of person I am. It's just not
that is how good.
Hey, if Rob Beal is on, I wore this just for him today. This is my Christmas shirt. Craig has never seen it.
I've never seen it. But let us know who's in the chat, who's earwigging. But we have no mic.
We've got mics, but just not.
Yeah, but no mic to ask questions. So we need you to go to the chat and ask as many questions as you can. Even the dumb questions, throw them in there.
How was Niche Website Builder? I started watching that. I haven't gotten all the way through it from last week, but how was the show today?
So it was all right. We spoke about mainly for beginners to start investing in websites. Covered off some of the things that you need to consider, some of the things you need to do. So yeah, and there was a whole bunch of questions. So it was good for beginners. Let's put it that way. But is there anything of value for someone like yourself there today? Probably not. No, just covered off the usual things. But hey,
it was interesting to see last week that based on how they separated it by niche. So based on your niche, you need X amount of content. Based on this, you need X amount of content on average. So actually, I bought a domain the other day. How much content am I fucking putting on this thing? So in rehab, like if you go to any rehab domain, like bigger domain, they have a base of content. So I wanted to get this taken care of. Let me see. I got 3 tabs here. So I've got 40 plus 13, that's 53 plus 94. Fuck. So 53 and 94. So rounded up to 150 pieces of content that I'm throwing on this bad boy, like right off the bat, having my guy do.
That's a lot of content, but the guy said today, if you want to get around about 12,000 visitors a month, which is likely to get you $300 through ad revenue, you're going to need 200 and something articles. So,
Yeah, that's I'll have about $1.50, so it'll do well. I'll do that, and that's not taking into account the location pages. But I want to ultimately, I'm focusing on one state for this one, just because it was based in that state. Funny story too. So I set this up. I haven't had any of this content created. I actually just started working on the content plan. So it was an Otis domain. So I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, can you come off this one a little bit? Because I know it's been on your site a while. It's one of your lower cost ones anyway. The links are okay, but I still need to do a lot of linking, especially internally as I build it out." I said, "Is there anything you can do?" Apparently they had a promotion. They said, they're like, it was a good redirect by that guy. He's like, "Hey, good timing. If you throw $750 in your account, we'll match it." So I said, "All right, I'm essentially getting $750 off." So I got a $2,000 domain for $1,200 ish.
Not bad.
So I threw that. That was Thursday. I designed it Friday for the most part. I put the finishing touches on it and got the number tracking set up on Saturday. So then I made it available to crawl by search engines. Woke up Sunday morning, I had a fucking call from that site, and it was a conversion. So I got paid. Yeah. So that was, chipping away at that. So that was homepage, contact page, and about us page is the only three, and two like bullshit spun articles on the blog just to make it look like I had a blog roll going.
Yeah.
So I would suggest to everyone in 2023, go out and like find a fucking site. Go back and watch. They showed what they look for in a site, right? The niche website builders. Yeah. If you've never done it before, go back and watch that shit. You can go back like 3 years ago. I don't know which show it was. How I find them with Ahrefs. Watch the niche website builder show about finding the domains and go through that. Get a domain, get it hosted. Use GeneratePress for an easy like website build. Just like an easy theme to throw up that works well and it will work well long term. Get that up and then start developing your content plan. But get it up and then do your content plan and go from there. And your guy is the niche website builders is primarily monetizing through like affiliate shit, right? Like affiliate ads.
Yeah.
I'm monetizing through calls. So, have your monetization, in mind, at least ahead of time. I thought of you. It was yesterday or the day before. So I was doing some research. I found this Piddly. It was low. Actually, I put all these, get to the right sheet. Yeah, here we go. It was a small drug rehab directory. So I was looking for like niche based directories that I could, honestly, I was looking for ones that would like not check me at all. So I could upload like thousands of pages to this bitch. But I'm still looking. So there's this one. And then I was like, man, this seems low enough. I might be able to buy it. You know how they were monetizing? Not through calls, through fucking like AdSense all over the place. Like they had advertisements for Amazon or eBay or whatever on the fucking site. I was like, they can't be making any money off of it. So I reached out and asked if I could buy it, but I haven't heard back from them. But the traffic's only 221 on this. I can blow this bitch out and like the amount of content on there. If I just give it to my guy for linking and be like, here, just steadily drop 1,500 a month in linking, then over time that shit's gonna go ape shit. So that's what I'm looking for. That's my 2023 going forward. So.
If only websites with great content were lying around that often.
Yeah, I bet we could find them more than we realize, because there's especially in rehab, there's so many bullshit directory sites that people throw up and they look like dog crap. They're not getting that much traffic, but the content is there. They're missing the linking. Like this person, the DR was low. Like if you care about DR, but what was the DR? Domain rating 4.9. So if I were to go to like an Otis or a niche website builders to get a DR5, I might pay $1,000 or $2,000. If I could get this site for $1,000 or $2,000, it'd be a wet dream. So it's only got 113 referring domains and thousands of pages. Like I mentioned last week, do links matter? Yeah, I think they matter more now than they ever have, you know?
Yeah.
So
you need some power to work with. But
yes.
A couple of questions. Are doorway pages still okay for service-based businesses?
Predominantly, if you've got a GMB connected to them, then 100% yes. Otherwise, the definition of a doorway page is different depending on where you read it. I would consider all my Search Shaker pages on an individual basis doorway pages. So if that's what you consider a doorway page, 100% yes. But I still interlink mine, so that kind of goes against the definition of a doorway page. But yeah, they do work, especially if you've got a GMB attached to them, because that's all you need. You're ranking the GMB and not the organic. So yes, they do, depending on how you use them.
And Nerdy Romero, so you were talking about content there. Yeah. Are you quillbotting that content?
The about us, the contact page really has no content. But the about us and the homepage were pulled from the original like the archive.org. So going forward, it'll be spun. So the articles that I threw up on the blog roll were spun the way that I've talked about in the past. So you use that negative list from Cognitive or Surfer or whatever you want to use. Get that keyword list, throw that into the negative list on whatever spinner you use. Like I like Spin Rewriter. You can use Quillbot, would work well as well. But throw that so it doesn't spin those specific words. So you know it's at least halfway optimized when you throw it up, and then spin it with Quillbot, Spin Rewriter, whatever you want to use, and then throw that up. So you get a blog post up and running in like less than 10 minutes, probably less than 5 minutes. So yeah. Spun content.
Interesting. Hopefully that helps you, Nerdy Romero. But guys, do put your questions in the chat here to help you. I can pick Brad's brain on these websites that he's shitting out all over the place. But also, do you ever consider, Brad, when you're looking for these websites, just going and doing a search for websites that have got like copyright 2017, 18, 19? And
you could. Yeah, you could go through and I know I've heard some of the Black Hat people mention it. I usually only do that when I've purchased the domain, if I don't think I'm going to have any legitimate copyright issues going forward. So if it's been expired for years, that's when I'll use it. But I do know people that have gone out and they'll just scrape expired domains, not for the actual domain, but for the content. I've got a ton of good content for mine. So one thing you can do is if you know that they had branded search, I would create a directory full of expired businesses, because people are still searching for those businesses. So go out, and if you want to grab the domain if you want to use this as a backlinking campaign, grab the domain, 301 it to an internal page on your site, grab the content. If you think you're going to have any copyright issues, Quillbot it, spin it enough, have the primary biz name, and it looks like a directory listing, and then move on. So then you're getting the content, and you're getting the linking, and you're sending those 301s to an authority-based website that you're building up. So,
and also another question, because obviously you talk about buying. You talked about you got a domain name for $1,200. That was of the value of $2,000. Is there a kind of upper tier in terms of what you wouldn't pay for a domain name? What's the kind of ballpark figure where you're like, yeah, I'm happy to throw $1,200 or $2,000 at a domain?
I mean, I've spent. I dropped $6,000 actually to niche website builders, and that included some content. see when I can't remember when I bought that, but I can look at my call records. And the reason I agreed to do that was because it was a directory before. So that directory meant that I could go back and recreate the directory pages. You know, if you throw something in Ahrefs and go to like top pages by traffic or best pages by links or whatever, all of those pages were the internal pages, which I liked. So I could go back, I could recreate those pages. Actually, it was a HTML based because it was an older directory. So everything was blah, blah, blah .html. So I just redirected that to the new, cleaner WordPress version of it. Mm-hmm. So it had, I think 350, 400 different directory pages on there. So different facilities that were either live or not live. I don't care. Let me see. I just checked the other day and I paid $6,000 for that, plus some content, just like some national level content that niche website builders did. And in that time frame since I purchased it, I checked the other day and we're at like, I haven't done anything else. 1,500, I think I've made back on that. Mm-hmm. So even if it's been the whole year, so say I dropped $6,000 on it and it's paid me back 1,500, theoretically, that is a 25% return. Do that in the stock market this year. You know, you did it more than likely. Unless you really know what you're doing and you were able to pull out before it tanked. But let me actually, I'm bringing up my for this number. This year, I know I haven't had it the whole year. I think I bought it like mid-year, but I'll be able to tell with the call volume. Come on.
There's a lot of clicking going on there.
It's filters on my. So let's put it at. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I didn't get this going until like September. So it's made that much money since September. So September, October, November, December. Yeah, that's a quarter. So if it's making 1,500 quarter, that's 100% return. If it continues to do that into 2023 over when annualized. So that's how I look at it. So is there an upwards range? No. I need to send you a screenshot. I was looking at, so we were hooked up with a company that was essentially building a conglomerate of rehab facilities, but they wouldn't acquire the entire facility. So they had excess capital. So they came to us for SEO. So we were working on SEO for them. That was back when we were doing a ton of mass page. So like Lead Gadget, like 30,000 pages at a time. So we would just slam servers full. So they would go in and they would say, look, we've got the marketing, we've got this, we've got that. We can help you take your facility from, in the red to in the black, and we'll take X amount. So they would take a percentage of the company. They would essentially apply their some money, but time, resources, all the money to it, and they would get a portion of the company. Well, they found this one site, and the person was making $15,000 a month from it. And it actually had, you've heard us talk about the NFG plugin, right? It's not really our plugin, but the plugin doesn't market at all. If you want to take a look at it, nfgsecret.com. But the company that was running it actually had the plugin on their site. And we estimated, based on the number of keywords that they had, that we saw, they were spending $1,000 a month and ranking for like all these, insurance-based terms, all these on their blog. It was doing pretty good too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, Darren. You like that? I've even got the gnome up there too, getting in the festive spirit. Hey, I can't have your wife thinking any less of me. So If there's a grain of hope for any woman, I can't ruin that. So I had to, I've got the desert. If she likes desert themes. But anyway, and plus I had those books in the attic storage. So I needed to get those out of there anyway. So I needed one. But anyway, so this guy had a halfway decent looking site. He was making 15 grand a month on it. His recurring cost on it was $1,000 a month based on the number of keywords that he had in the plugin. He was making 15 grand a month on it. I said, how, for the keywords he's ranking for, how's he only making 15 grand a month? Well, instead of selling per call, this guy just essentially did a rank and rent to a facility for 15 grand a month, and they sent all the calls. I was like, does he know how much money he was losing out on? Like, he doesn't care. It was consistent, 15 grand a month. Okay. Guess how much an asset that was cash flowing 15 grand a month. Guess how much they bought it for?
15, 10.
This is a few years ago, so multiple quite as high.
30 times that.
So what would that put us at? 30? I can't do that shit.
About 450.
Yeah. You know what they bought it for? 150 grand.
Fuck.
I would have taken that like in a heartbeat. Yeah. So the first thing we did was he hadn't optimized his content the way that we normally do. So the first thing that we did was we went through every single page with this was way before Surfer. So it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So it was cognitive SEO. It still probably would be cognitive SEO, either that or Surfer. I don't care. But we went through every single URL. He did not want the plugin. He didn't want to pay the $1,000 a month. The people that bought it didn't want to pay the $1,000 a month for the plugin because it was a sizable campaign. So I said, okay. So I went through GSE because if you rip the plugin down and they've created the pages on there, and you can tell because it's a dash and then a number string, then you lose that page. So you've got to I had to go through in 301 all the pages to what made sense on the site, which luckily there were pages that made sense for everything. So cleaned up the site, went through it with cognitive, every single page, re-indexed the entire thing, recrawled it, saw like a 400% increase in traffic like that month, like within like the next month or two. So we were like getting calls out the ass doing that. Eventually that partnership fizzled out because they thought they could do it without us. They thought they had the content linking down. I'll send you the graph. It goes whoop, and then like that, and then after we left. So, but yeah, they took an asset that they paid 150 grand for. I hope they made their money back. I would assume they did in that time. But yeah, so would I buy like a site for 150 grand in that situation? Yes, I would have. And they just reached out to him and said, would you sell this to us? So
fair enough.
Shit, I would buy a fucking rehab if the cash flow to, if the ratio, if the numbers looked right. I would buy a facility too, because I know you don't follow Russell Brunson a lot.
No.
He's got a thing, and he's just trying to rename it like most marketers do. They rename something. They take something old, rename it, and make it seem like it's like their thing. But he calls it the Rembrandt in the attic. And Rembrandt apparently is a painter. I'm not cultured, obviously, by my shirt. But he's a painter. And he's like, he uses his story. These people are coming to look at this house, and it's like, say, $400,000. So they're coming in and they're offering, right around asking price. So then this one guy comes in, he looks through it and everything, and he's like, I'll give you $1 million for it. And they're like, okay, deal. So he gives $1 million. They're like, why'd you offer us $1 million? He's like, because I saw the Rembrandt in the attic, and it's like some piece of artwork that was worth tens of millions of dollars. And it was kind of his secret that he had. He knew he could make money on it like quickly. So he said, when you buy something, buy a website, a business, anything, look for the Rembrandt in the attic. So that's kind of like what I do when I'm looking to acquire a site. So if I looked at a facility for sale, do they have legit script that we can run PPC like all, right away? So if they have that, I know we can make an extra $100,000 off the retreads in the back end a month easily off of that. Yeah. Plus the extra SEO. The more SEO you do, the more call volume you have. There's a lot of shit that you can do from there. So yeah, there's no, short of like me not being able to bring the funds together, there's no real cap on it. If I have the cash and I think it'll cash flow, it makes sense, then yeah, I'll do it. I don't like paying for a bunch of GMBs and stuff because those can go down. But if it's a solid site with solid SEO and proven cash flow, then I can do it. So like I could buy that 15,000 a month site and turn it into 30 or 40,000 a month, like instantly, double the value of it. So
that's what happens when you've been doing this a long time. You've got enough confidence and you can just do shit. But Thomas, the Train Toys and More, GMB in the footer of a website, is that helping rank your local GMB?
Yeah, it's a factor. You have to link it back. So I like to link to the GMB at the bottom of the page, at least, not necessarily the footer. If it's one GMB for the entire site, then yeah, it makes sense to put it in the footer. You need your NAP on there. You need that link to your reviews somewhere on the page. Link to as much as you can to get the flow back and forth between you and the GMB. So include it in your schema. If you can do a same as and include the GMB, the CID link, stuff like that. So, or same, yeah, I said same as. So yeah, it does help though. You should anyway, because it helps conversions. So
perfect. Guys, keep the questions coming in the chat there. But Nigel Edmonds, what's the maximum number of 301s you'd point to your site from purchased expired domains if they were relevant?
I would say if you do it the way I outlined earlier, I would say there's essentially no limit because you're continually adding pages to it, to your site. So you're adding fresh content and you're sending links to those pages. So yeah.
So whether it's 10, whether it's 110.
Yeah. You're going to be limited by the amount of domains you can find, to be honest, that are clean, that make sense to 301. You'll be limited by that before you'd be limited in any other way, in my opinion.
Hopefully that helps you, Nigel. ZD Electrical, he needs help. His 300 reviews don't pop in the schema. Using Merkle, having no luck.
I've never used it. I just link them together just because it helps link the GMB to it and adds relevance and all that. But I don't ever try and get it to pop in the schema. I just use same as. So
Nigel's saying, if I had Botox done,
is it clean?
A new webcam. Is it because I'm looking so young? No Botox, no new cam either. I don't know if I'm just glowing with the cold weather.
'Tis the season. I'm looking pale and ashy. So
yeah,
I need to get out in the sun more. But it's cold.
Yeah.
Fuck, my dad sent me a weather report for this coming week in Indiana. 1 degree.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
We've got it pretty rough here as well.
Yeah.
But
I can't do the conversion for you guys. So that's 1 degree Fahrenheit. I don't know what that would be Celsius.
Yeah.
But fucking cold regardless.
But ZD Electrical saying he's dropped 8 places on page 1 by changing the links for his YouTube account for ZA. So do you think, because ZD Electrical swapped out, he went to a new YouTube channel, some digital marketing one, is changing that out likely to drop you 8 positions, or is that just a matter of coincidence?
It could be both. If you're skewing the entity that was already established, it could be. Hopefully, it'll come back pretty quick if it's not a huge change. But yeah, I mean, anything like that, if you're changing up your entity, because if your YouTube is tied to your entity and it's got relevance and links and power and notoriety attached to it, and you take that away, then yeah, I could see that affecting it. And but hopefully they're just rescoring it and it pops back up. So it's like when you start linking to something and it starts
moving around.
Yeah.
Maeve is saying that is minus 17
for cold
us in the UK. That we had minus 8 or 9 last week, which was pretty rough. Yeah. So minus 17 is, yeah, I don't think I'd be going out in minus. I don't know if I've ever been in minus 17.
Yeah, we get on occasion we would get in the negatives Fahrenheit, so that's got to be crazy low for you guys. But yeah, it sucks. That's like you walk out and it hits you in the face, you know.
Yeah,
and that's Indiana, and then it's like in the summer it's balmy as shit. So you walk out and like the humidity hits you, you just start dripping sweat. Kind of like when I see you.
How's it going? Oh boy.
I told someone I would send them a link to this today. One sec.
What, to this session?
I never know how to do it because I'm like, just subscribe to Craig, but I'll grab this link.
So ZD Electrical says, send then realized the more Gmails I had, I could add multiple YouTube accounts and add new links in them to ZA. Fair enough. And Maeve, I'm here.
You're here.
She's not referring to Mike, surely to God. Mike's the VA.
I hope to God. He needs to be the boss though, because we can get some shit done, you know. Yeah. He's taken his boss to the doctor, from my understanding. She is sick.
So yeah, there's always someone sick in the Pierce household. I don't know what sort of weather they've got up in them sticks.
It's snowy, but yeah.
Yeah. And Stephen Buchanan is asking, are you in Indiana, Brad?
I am not right now. No, I will be next week though. That's where I grew up. I live in North Carolina. I grew up close to where Rob Beal lives currently.
Did you know that you just sent me that link?
No, I know. So I can have it on my phone so I can text it to someone.
Ah, right. Cool. Just in case you sent it to me thinking you sent it to...
No, I know what I'm doing.
I've done that before a few times. Like you guys a couple of weeks ago. I said, yeah, I thought I'd sent you the link, and you're like, where's the link? I sent you it. You not get it? Nah, I sent it to some random guy. That was the message before you guys, just because I was in a rush. So
I do that.
I know how these things go.
At least you weren't talking shit about it, or us to us. I've done that before too. I can't fucking stand this guy, and they're like, "Who are you talking about?" Oh fuck, not you.
I had a situation once where we had a problematic guy. It was back in the days when we used to do web design. So we had a problematic customer, and one of the people in the office was sending an email back and forth to the web designer, and the web designer's like, yeah, this fucking guy's a cock, blah, 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 but sent it to the guy.
He hit reply all.
Yeah. And that didn't go down too well, and I think we were literally fired on the spot.
I would hope.
So
I've done it, and I mentioned the person's name in there. They're like, "Who are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck!" I had to think of someone quickly, but with the same name. I was like, "I'm getting tired of this, like whatever Jake fucking around with this shit," you know. Like the only other Jake I knew. I'm like, he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, oh.
He knows, though. He knows.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. But Stephen Buchanan is in Northern Illinois here.
My cousin is in Chicago. She works downtown. So Northern Illinois is cold, dude.
Alex.
We know. We saw it in those shorts that you were wearing. I thought you were in your underwear on that couch in the lobby. I was like, why is Alex in his underwear? They're shorts. Yeah, they are. Your long, thin snake is showing.
That comment from that guy will live with me for a long time.
Haunt your nightmares.
Yeah, just I've got a long thin. Yeah. I don't know why you go and tell a table full of guys that, but hey.
Just in case.
Yeah. Why not? I live like 40 minutes from Holly. She is in Wisconsin.
Go up there and get some cheese.
Is that what Wisconsin's famous for?
Yep. Cheese. Wisconsin.
Cheese and Holly Stark.
Cheese. That's the Packers are cheeseheads.
Are you saying that Holly Stark smells of cheese?
No, I'm saying she probably likes cheese. She might smell of cheese a little bit. Gouda, though, not like one of the stinky cheeses. Yeah. I mean, we all smell of cheese. It's the holidays. We all smell of cheese.
Beer and cheese curds.
That's it. Oh, cheese curds are good. Have you ever had those fried cheese curds?
No.
Oh, Jesus. Take cheese and you deep fry it. Have you ever had poutine?
Never heard of it. Poutine.
Poutine. I think that's how you say it. It's French Canadian. You take fries, or chips as you call them, and then what is it? Gravy, and then cheese, like cheese curds on top melted, and you eat that. It's good.
Nice.
Poutine.
Maeve that had a shave from Dave.
Maeve with the shave and Dave. Maeve and Dave shaving.
I went to Chicago in a snowstorm once.
Yeah, don't do that.
And she's still defrosting 10 years later.
Yeah, Chicago's cold because it's like the river runs right in the middle of it.
And Maeve, this is a myth I have never seen or deep fried anything that shouldn't be deep fried.
Deep fried Oreos, you like those?
No.
They're good.
Come on, dude.
I get those at the gas station with the kids sometimes. Deep fried Oreos. They're not as good at the fair. They're better at Sheetz.
Craig only eats rabbit.
Only rabbit that he catches by hand.
Yeah. Heart attack on a platter.
It is. Yes. Have you ever been to you've been to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Heart Attack Grill on Fremont Street. That's good. You like that. They get you'll have to look up a video of it sometime, but you get like a single bypass, a double bypass, a triple bypass, and that's like the number of burgers on there. The fries are fried in like straight up fat. If you don't finish your burger, they take you to the middle of the restaurant and they spank you with this big ass paddle.
Jeez.
If you're over 350 pounds, you eat for free.
God. That's fair. But that's a big guy.
It is a good ass burger. Yeah, look it up. What's that?
If you're a big fat person, you
can go eat there free every day.
There's no limits. Just eat. Jeez. Mario.
Yeah, Mario.
That Mario.
How's that site going?
The hair and nails guy. How is the site going? Is it moving in the right direction now, Mario? Curious to know.
We had a client that sold vitamin C serum at one point. That's an interesting niche. It's crazy how much women, ladies spend on that. You know, I'm looking youthful, so I don't need it quite yet. And Craig gets Botox, so.
I wish I did. I'm taking that as a compliment, though. I must be looking better.
You must be. You just shaved.
Yeah, I had a shave and a shower.
Shave, shower, and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Dave and Maeve.
Dave,
shave.
Maeve and Dave. But anyway, I'm not going to dig myself into trouble. I don't want to fight with Maeve. She'll probably come and kill me because she stays close by.
She's probably driving past your office right now.
But Stephen Buchanan, deep fried tacos with cheese curds on them at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Oh, I bet that's good. I bet their fair food's good. Have you ever had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich? They deep fry the chicken, and then pickles, mayo, that stuff. But then they take this the grease that they fried it in, and they make like a thing to pour over it. So they put like cayenne pepper and some other shit in it, mix it up, brown sugar, and then pour that on there. I made it one time. Kelsey said it felt like her heart was like getting ready to like clog up as she was eating it, but it's fucking delicious. It's good. You got to what did you eat when you were in the US? Nothing?
No, I had some burgers and some greasy shit. But I actually, just to get some good nutrients in me, I had a meal replacement shake called Soylent. So
heard that makes you soy yourself.
Yeah, it actually does. Yeah, if you're having a lot of drinks and booze and you have some Soylent, it literally makes you piss out your ass. So
nice. We had an NFG member that would he owned a company, I think he owned it, that sold like you take them before you start drinking, and it's supposed to help you like not have a hangover and shit. So he was passing them out, but it was funny because it came in a package that it was a gold package, looked like a condom. So he's passing out. It looked like he was just passing out condoms at the bar, but he was passing out like these pre-sober pills or whatever.
Interesting. Anyway, rave that time I did.
Rave, Dave, shave, Maeve.
Yeah, we had.
She's rhyming along.
Yeah, that's going to be the title of this video: Maeve, rave, shave, and Dave.
Maeve gave Dave a shave at the rave.
Yeah,
I'm out of words that end in AVE.
Mario. Yep, doing lots of things, fluctuations and setups. A bit of fluctuation is not a bad thing.
No, you'll have that.
But yeah,
I know people that freaking they send their clients an SEO report like every day. What is that? The one that you can send every day. It's like blue and orange. It's not SEMrush, but he would send it every day, so they're seeing the fluctuations every fucking day. And
SE ranking.
Yeah, SEO ranker or something like that. Yeah. He would send it every fucking day. So if it was an up day, they're happy. If it was a down day, they were like flipping their shit and calling him like, why did my shit tank? So don't do that.
Maeve has found another word. She's got brave.
Brave.
So yeah.
Maeve gave Dave a brave shave at the rave.
I'm not sure brave shave. yeah, we'll go with that.
Brave Maeve gave Dave a shave at the rave because she was pretty brave for giving him a shave at the rave. Yeah. Or Dave brave for getting a shave from Maeve at the rave. This is like a fucking Dr. Seuss episode.
And it got quite grave.
Yeah. Put him in the grave.
Enough, Maeve. Nerdy Romero. Would you run SEO Auto Robot? I'm assuming that's Autopilot 2.0s to a recreated SERP Shaker website or to the links they have established already, directories, or both?
What I normally do and where I work something like that in is I'll build out the entity properties. So like WordPress.com, Tumblr, all those basic entity properties. You can get them from Marketer Center. Do you guys offer stuff like that, like an entity type gig?
Nah.
So you can get those, and then you want to take those so they're all branded, and primarily linking with branded URL, maybe some branded and market level. So those are pointing to your site. Then you take the 2.0, like you're talking about, like an auto 2.0 builder. You point those to the tier 1 entity, and then you follow that up with GSA SIR to that. So SIR is on the 3rd tier, and it filters down. So I've seen that boost the DA like crazy, like 0 to in the 20s in like a month or two, just by doing that type of stuff. So
hopefully that helps you, Nerdy Romero. That's another tongue twister. Maeve's got us all tongue twisted. But guys, we do have around about 10 minutes left. I need to knock off 5 minutes early because I've got another bloody webinar straight after
Yeah.
this.
Who you have a webinar with it after this?
Duda,
Who's
the
that?
website builder.
Oh yeah, nice.
So,
I saw your buddy. I tried to send you the link, but apparently because you're not in the group. Who did I send you about? You're like, I can't bring up the link. I sent it last night.
I can.
Dooley. Yeah. Does he have a link service?
Who's that?
Dooley.
Yeah, he's got a link.
Yeah, apparently that was what that was about. Some OMG crew is pushing that apparently.
Oh yeah. Because he was on a webinar with it with them.
Yeah, their webinars traditionally do relatively well. So,
what is the two guys that are behind that now? Jason.
I think Jason's part of it. The redheaded guy.
Yeah.
He did gold back in the day. The main one's Mike Long.
Because
David Mills is like you hardly ever see him. He's like behind the scenes. He's the strategist.
Because I was on that OMG kind of webinar thing a couple of weeks back.
Were you on the one with what were they talking about?
We're just talking about flipping websites and shit like that.
Oh, really?
I think it was that gold group.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that dude made millions apparently off of just his gold sites back in the day. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I never got into it. The gold IRA. Did you ever do any of those gold IRA type shit? Gold bullion?
No.
All that. Yeah, I mean,
fuck that. I mean, there's that many fucking. I know certain guys that are into it, but yeah, not for me, man.
No.
I don't know. I just thought. Yeah, you know what it's like. I know guys that, when they travel from the UK to America, still go out there and buy up all sorts of gold and and come back with it in a briefcase.
Is there some kind of exchange, like arbitrage thing, or they just can't get it over there?
There's some fucking hack to it anyway. I don't know what the fuck it is, but yeah.
I didn't know. I was watching something about the FTX shit that just like that company that just went bankrupt or whatever.
Yeah.
Seems like another Theranos type thing. Apparently, they built their whole business model on, they called it the Korea trade. So apparently at some point, you could buy Bitcoin in the US and then immediately flip it and sell it somehow in Korea and make like a 30% return, like instant. But then, as more and more people found out about it, just like some SEO tactics, like the margin kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and then that's when they had to start like fudging the numbers and shit. They built a $1 billion, multi-billion-dollar company off of that one trade.
That's insane. Yeah, can you literally just be fucking grabbing any money you could and flipping it?
That's what I would be doing if I had done it a few times successfully. I wouldn't have fucking taken anything public, but I wouldn't have taken anyone else's money. But yeah, I look at those people. You've seen the pictures of the guy, right? With the lazy hair. And I'm like, who the fuck thinks to give this guy money? The dude's sitting there like in his socks with a hole in them, like on a fucking office floor, just like laying there. I'm like, who would walk into that fucking office, be like, yeah, this is a guy I want to give hundreds of millions of dollars to? It's just, I don't know. He must have sold it, but I don't know.
All it takes is for one guy to take a punt, and then if that's successful, all his fucking mates will be queuing up at the door.
That's true. Yeah. He doesn't even need to be successful. You just need to make him think he's successful.
Yeah.
How to run a scam 101 with Craig Campbell. Political circle.
Too much. Given so much.
I've heard of that. Yeah. I heard it was. I've heard the conspiracy theories about money laundering through Ukraine and shit like that, but I don't know. Try not to think about that shit.
I'm just pissed that I don't get involved in these kind of things.
You got to do it early.
Yeah.
Did you see the Theranos chick got 11 years for lying to everyone? Her boyfriend got 13 years in prison for the same thing.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
What, guys? We have about 4 minutes left. If you've got any questions?
What's your 2023 look like going forward? You taking next week off?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. or I'll be out of town. But so what's your primary goal in 2023? Like, what's your strategy in 4 minutes or less?
My strategy is probably to invest more in
websites or the market.
In websites, and probably do less talking, so less speaking events.
Me too. I'm quitting this show.
These don't count, but traveling to America and shit is just, I've done far too many last year, so I'm going to do less of them and invest more in try and get fit and healthy is the main goal. Just get a better work-life balance and get healthier, man. Is the main goal for me, and calm down in a lot of the traveling, because it's stress on your body, and
it's
crazy.
How much do you get out of it too? I mean, what doesn't make sense to me is like when someone becomes a career guru, and I'm not saying you're doing that, but a lot of people try it or do it. It's like, if I don't know, I can make more money doing the shit that I'm doing rather than selling the information, because it's going to go away eventually. So
don't come to Wisconsin if you want to get healthier.
Isn't one of the healthiest places in the country? It's Minnesota. It's right by Wisconsin, right?
But yeah,
that's where Jeffrey Dahmer's from, is Wisconsin. He ate healthy. He's carnivore.
He got a lot of good nutrients in his body. But yeah, that's a whole nother story.
How many days a week are you working out now?
I am currently injured, so I'm doing 2.
What you do?
Sessions. I have a problem with my knee, and my hip rotator muscles are screwed. So boxing now, I can't turn and punch, it just fucks them up. So
I hit too hard, man. Like, I always tear something because it's so much torque. They say you're either going to break the bag or your shoulder, or both. And right now it's my shoulder. So
I hit too hard. Come on.
It's so much impact on, like, it's just not there right now. My left, I'd have to just beat the hell out of you with the right. That's it. I could do it, but
anyway, on that note, guys, we are out of time, so we will be off next week between Christmas and New Year, but we'll be back again.
Mike should come on and do it alone
on his own. Mike, we might get him on to do his own, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'm off to my cave to save, so you can.
She's sitting there fucking Googling it.
Yeah.
A raid cave.
But guys, we will catch you again in the new year. Hope everyone has a great Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and we'll catch up with you.
Happy Hanukkah.
See you later, guys.